Hi, this is Senator Justin Reedy coming to you from Annapolis on this final full week of the General Assembly session for 2017. We know that after midnight on Monday, April 10th, voters, taxpayers will be breathing, I think, a sigh of relief because we may have made it through another session without raising taxes, and we may have even made a little bit of progress on some small areas of tax relief. Obviously, there's been a lot this session I've talked to you about that's been negative, bad legislation or bad ideas that have been pushed. We've been able to defeat some of those bad ideas. We have had some things pass. And this coming next couple days, we're going to be watching a couple of things. One of the things that we're still watching is the sanctuary state bill that I'm happy to say is still buried in my committee judicial proceedings for now. We had some discussion on it actually yesterday in my committee. We voted a whole bunch of bills, and that was one that we talked about, we debated, but we did not take a vote because I think at this point the votes, for this really bad bill are not there. But we're going to be very vigilant and watching very carefully for these next few days before the end of session to be sure that it stays defeated. Another thing we'll be watching is Governor Hogan has vetoed some bills that were passed earlier in session, some of them I've talked to you about, that either maybe attempt to take away his ability to do certain things or are sort of overreactions to things happening at the federal level, or obviously there's been a lot of bills that I've talked to you about that are just trying to take swipes at President Trump or try to attack the governor. One bill that the governor just vetoed was the bill that I spoke to you about a little bit a couple videos ago, dealing with the bill makes it harder for the State Board of Education now to put together a plan for failing schools, and also makes it harder for us to comply with federal law to develop these kinds of plans for education reform and positive education change in schools that have been consistently underperforming year after year after year. Basically, the way this bill worked, and it's one of the reasons the governor vetoed it, is it's not going to allow the state board to take action against a failing school without permission, basically, from the teachers union and from the local school folks. So it's one of these things where you have these long-term failing schools, and the opposition to things like charter schools and other types of education is so strong that they're afraid of us really looking at how we can deal with failing schools that consistently fail. So the governor, he vetoed this legislation, and now we know it will come back before us in the Senate. The Senate will try, the Democrat majority will try to override the governor's veto on this and some other bills. So we're concerned about that. That's something we're going to be watching closely. I will say that we've had some positive things happen this session too. I've appreciated that I have been able to work with my friends in both parties on some key issues to do things that will help Carroll County, will help, will deal with things like tax relief, allowing military veterans and retired military, retired police, retired fire to exempt more of their retirement pay from taxation. Obviously, I would like to see us, and Governor Hogan, I know, would like to see us get to where we're exempting pretty much everybody's retirement pay from taxation. We're taking it a piece at a time. We were able to pass that through the General Assembly. There's some other tax credits and tax policy changes that I think are very positive for farmers and for other working folks. So there's been some positive developments there. I was able to get a bill out of the Senate that we're now going to be working on in the House that would help our small community colleges. There's some grant funding that small community colleges get in the state of Maryland if they're below a certain size. Carroll is one of those community colleges. They get a grant to help with operations because obviously they can only operate within their county. So if they have lower enrollments, it's harder for them to be able to have a full-service community college. So the state tries to help them supplement to be sure that we have these important community colleges in our counties to give our young people and even our older people who need skills for jobs this kind of location where they can achieve that. My bill tries to help equalize some of the grant funding that's been distributed so that everybody's getting sort of a fair shake with it. Working on that issue right now in these final days of session. We don't know if it's going to be able to get through the full General Assembly or not, but I've gotten some great bipartisan cooperation on that, so I appreciate that. We're going to be fast and furious here the final few days, a lot of late nights and long days on the Senate floor and in committee. I look forward to keeping you updated as we move along. Please feel free to contact me with any questions or concerns you have. I look forward to updating you again real soon. Thanks.